So my first stand-up gig was actually my father's eulogy. In one of the most surreal moments of my life, my father and I actually planned his funeral and his eulogy together. He asked me to write and tell one of my stories and tell it at his funeral. And then he said that it wasn't allowed to be sad. I had to make them laugh. And that is actually something that he used throughout his whole life, but in particular throughout his sickness. He used laughter and humor and comedy a lot to get through what was scary and difficult and overwhelming. I have a memory of the two of us being in a chemo room and being the only two giggling. Because that just made it easier to get through the chemo appointments. And the nurses at the beginning thought we were a little strange, but he got to know them quite well. They really liked him. And by the end, they'd always be giggling and laughing with us. He also used to tell really blunt jokes. People would say, "Oh, John, you look really great. You've lost a lot of weight. What's your secret?" And he'd look them dead in the eye and say, "Cancer." And so now that's a strategy that I use in my life in general, and a grief strategy now that I need to. I use the humor and I try to find the jokes to try to make what's so dark and so terrible a little bit less overwhelming.